Imagine standing on the banks of the Tiber River. It is October, 312 AD. The air is thick with the scent of sweat, cold iron, and impending death. Emperor Constantine paces in his tent. Tomorrow, he fights for the soul of the Roman Empire. He looks to the heavens, desperate for a divine ally. In our timeline, he saw a vision of the Christian cross. But what if the sky burned with a different light? What if, instead of the peaceful Galilean, Constantine chose the patron of Rome's iron legions? The undefeated sun. The god of the bloody bull. Mithras. To understand this alternate world, you must step into the dark. Beneath the paved streets of Rome, buried under the foundations of ancient palaces, lie hidden sanctuaries. They are called Mithria. They look like artificial caves, carved deep into the earth. Inside, the air is heavy with incense and the metallic tang of sacrificial blood. Torches flicker, casting long shadows on a stone relief of a young man wearing a Phrygian cap, plunging a dagger into the neck of a massive bull. This is Mithras. He is not a god of peace. He is a god of combat, of loyalty, of oaths sealed in blood. For centuries, he was the darling of the Roman military. Centurions, generals, and gladiators swore their lives to him. It was a secret society, a brotherhood of steel. Imagine Constantine stepping out of his tent the next morning. He does not paint the Greek letters of Christ on his soldiers' shields. Instead, he orders his men to raise the banner of the unconquered sun. They charge. They win. The Tiber runs red with the blood of his rivals. Constantine enters Rome not as a Christian convert, but as the supreme initiate of Mithras. With a single decree, the underground caves are brought into the light. The temples of Jupiter are not replaced by grand basilicas, but by massive, subterranean amphitheaters designed to mimic the cosmos. The Bible is never compiled. Instead, the empire's moral code is dictated by the 7 grades of Mithraic initiation. You do not pray for forgiveness. You fight for promotion. But here is the twist. Mithraism had a glaring, fundamental rule. It was strictly, exclusively male. No women were allowed in the caves. In our world, Christianity spread rapidly because it offered dignity and salvation to everyone: enslaved people, the poor, and women. If Mithraism becomes the state religion, how does society survive? The Roman family structure fractures. To maintain order, the state is forced to elevate a parallel cult for women, perhaps the worship of Isis, the Egyptian mother goddess, or Cybele, the Great Mother. Rome becomes a society of deep, religious segregation. Men gather in dark, silent caves to drink bull's blood and swear military oaths. Women gather in sunlit temples, managing the domestic and economic fabric of the empire. It is a civilization divided by gender, united only by the state. How does this change the map of the world? Without the pacifying influence of early Christian theology, Rome's militarism goes on absolute overdrive. The empire does not fall to the Germanic tribes. Why? Because every Roman citizen is, by religious duty, a soldier. The Mithraic code demands physical perfection, absolute discipline, and unquestioning loyalty to the chain of command. The barbarian invasions are met not with political instability, but with a highly organized, fanatical war machine. The Dark Ages never happen. Rome does not crumble, it hardens. It transforms into an eternal military state. A global Sparta, spanning from the sands of Mesopotamia to the cold hills of Scotland. Let your mind drift forward 1,000 years. Picture the skyline of London or Paris in this alternate 16th century. There are no soaring Gothic cathedrals reaching for the heavens. There are no church bells ringing across the countryside. Instead, the landscape is dotted with massive, fortress-like temples sunk deep into the earth. Science and technology develop not under the watchful eye of monastic scribes, but through the practical needs of military engineers. Alchemy, metallurgy, and astronomy flourish, driven by the desire to understand the celestial spheres of Mithras. But it is a cold world. A world of duty, honor, and absolute hierarchy. Individualism is a sin. Weakness is eradicated. We often think of history as an inevitable march toward the world we know today. But it wasn't. It hung on a knife edge. A single decision by a tired emperor on the eve of battle changed the language you speak, the holidays you celebrate, and the moral compass of the entire Western world. If Constantine had looked at the sun and seen a soldier instead of a savior, we might all be kneeling in the dark today. If you want to keep exploring the dark, hidden paths of history that never were, make sure to hit that subscribe button. The past is full of secrets, and we are just getting started. What alternate timeline should we uncover next? Let me know in the comments.